We still have a buff. We can just do that. And even without power, Black Adam is still pretty annoying. Like, because all his moves have range. So even if the enemy is not near you, you can just steal their power. That does nothing, and we can super move out. Black Adam's moves will also hit people jumping in the air, so there's no last laugh the Joker mechanics. You will definitely hit on every move that you hit. Your opponent cannot get out of the way. So something to note as well. So even though my ability costs 3, I can still power drain, and Black Adam continuously wins the fight, even though Armored Superman was trying to troll me by blocking. I was still able to keep range and win the fight.
You expect the rest of God? Black Adam.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, HollywoodShono here, about to give you another Injustice 2 video, and I know it's been a long time coming. If you're brand new to the channel, thank you very much for showing up. If you are not brand new to the channel, welcome back. So, in this video, I want to show you guys how you guys actually use Black Adam. Now, I do not have his abilities fully leveled up. I have his Lightning Cage at level 54, which grants a 61.5% chance. I believe the max is around 69% or 69.5%. And the Electric Burst is only a 32.5% chance to steal power bars. If this was maxed out, it would actually be over a 50% chance to steal power every time you use an Electric Burst. Both of those are really powerful together, but you cannot neglect the use of the Storm Cloud, which is really good when you have an abundance of power. Because even if you cannot increase the opponent's ability cost, you can still increase their or reduce their basic and swipe damage, which is extremely useful against Justice League by itself, or could be useful against other high damage characters, especially if your Black Adam does not have maxed out defense like me. Now, in no way is my gear optimized, as currently I have on my Black Adam defense, health, defense on the helmet. On the chest plate, I have crit chance, attack, attack. On the gauntlets, I have defense, attack, attacks. A lot of attack, not a lot of crit chance. So that's one area that I feel I should probably take off an attack roll and probably go for crit chance, so I can get that up a little bit more. But as we get the gear items higher up, that's going to be a little bit better as well. But I'm really considering taking off an attack roll and getting crit chance up a little bit, because that'll probably be enough to get near 75%. At which point, then I can also work on crit damage. Now, keep in mind, I only have 3 talent slots, so that also makes a difference. If Black Adam was 6 stars, I could get, for example, an additional 36% crit from talents. I could get 72% crit damage. I could get any other variant of stats and free up talent slots in gear elsewhere. Now, I've seen the NetherRealm post mentioning Raiden. There is some merit behind Raiden, because with the Divine Blast, it's a guaranteed power drain. And if you have Black Adam's buff, the Divine Blast costs 1. However, I've actually found Emerald Green Lantern to be slightly more useful. And the reason for that is because he gives additional buffs, like, for example, a power generation buff every time you tag in. He also gives you a chance to stun on top of Black Adam's stun on tag in. Or he gives you more critical damage, and we've seen some ridiculous numbers for that. I'd also like to point out that if you have a maxed out team, don't underestimate Silver Green Lantern as well, because his shield can also do really well. And I could also see some utility with Soul Stealer, Dr. Fate, or maybe even a Sub-Zero if your opponent is using a high priority person, like, for example, a Nightmare Batman, which is a pain in the ass to deal with basic attacks, or maybe somebody else. Even though I think passives are disabled, you could also steal a Predator Batman. It could be really good. So, this is the team that I've been using to farm 8-12 normal, and we're going to do a couple fights with this just to show it off. Or I could do some fights in Heroic, but I'm going to do 3 fights in 8-12 normal, because 8-12 Heroic is done. It's basically the same thing, except characters have slightly more stats. So, I usually do not like to start with Black Adam. If you get a stun mechanic, you want to try to get it off. And you want to always try to go for the special one, like you got right there. And then you use the 3 into the power drain. And if you steal the opponent's power, which also works against Armored Superman's barrier, and the power drain happens before the actual buff. Also, one thing to keep in mind is that Black Adam's super move, while you have that buff, costs 5, and it does not cost 8 like it would with Dr. Fate. So there's a little bit of a merit behind that too. But once you're ahead on power, like you always want to be spamming 1. Once you get the power cost decrease, then you can consider making the opponent's special cost more, making yours cost less. And I don't have, you know, the reliability like a level 70 Black Adam would, because I could guarantee power drains. And when ability costs 1, you can kind of just spam whatever you want. But if you're not using Dr. Fate or Power Girl, then you don't have that luxury. Again, I like Emerald Green Lantern for the buffs, because it just makes swapping a little bit easier, because Raiden kind of does nothing outside of his guaranteed power drain, which if you have Black Adam Special maxed out at 70, you have over a 50% chance, and it's a lot quicker than attack. So mine only triggers about 57% of the time. Sometimes I've gone 4 or 5 times without it triggering, which is annoying. But when it goes off, it's really potent, especially once you can start stealing power. Right, so there's the power cost decrease. So one of the ways I normally like to deal, not like that, but one of the ways I normally like to deal with Superman, not like that either, is I just kill him. But I like to get the power cost decrease and then use the super move and get rid of Armored Superman. It's a great way to do it. We still have the Emerald Green Lantern, and even a 3-bar armor at the 2-minute mark is pretty good. That's going to put a big dent in Superman, and we still have the buff. We still have a buff. We can just do that. And even without power, Black Adam is still pretty annoying. Like, because all his moves have range, so even if the enemy is not near you, you can just steal their power. That does nothing, and we can super move out. Black Adam's moves will also hit people jumping in the air, so there's no last laugh the Joker mechanics. You will definitely hit on every move that you hit. The opponent cannot get out of the way. So something to note as well. So even though my ability costs 3, I can still power drain, and Black Adam continuously wins the fight, even though Armored Superman was trying to troll me by blocking. I was still able to keep range and win the fight. So using the range to your advantage is not a bad idea. Now, let's go into an area where you guys want to know how he fares, and that is Arena. So I've done a little bit of testing with Black Adam, and honestly, the level of my Black Adam, you probably do not want to do, you know, 800,000-900,000 threat fights, but you could try that and possibly have some success. Like, if you find a team that does not have maxed out defense, try it. You might have to fish for some teams, as I don't like fighting Justice Leagues. I don't like fighting Atlantean Armor Aquamans. I don't like fighting Multiverse. So, as long as you can follow those rule of thumbs, Nightmare Batman probably can't do a whole lot. Like, this team, if it didn't have Power Girl, would actually be okay. I think this team we can probably do, so let's try it. 226,000 score on the line, and I'll show you guys how to basically do it. And first win of the day, you get a double bonus, so let's try and get that. So, stun resist by the flash. So we got the power cost decrease right off the bat. Now we're going to try to do our 3. We might want to consider doing a 1 just to make him do less damage, which he's not doing much anyway. And there is a little merit to spamming the 1 twice. You can refresh the power generation thing. Also want to try to steal from Aquaman, which we failed. So he tries to do that, which is fine. You always want to spam the 1. Black Adam has 10% innate lethal attack chance, so he's going to have some form of armor piercing, which is very important, because he's going to be relying on all those abilities. So now we're going to go up to 3 on Aquaman, and we're not doing a whole lot of damage. We probably want to super move Amazon Wonder Woman, because she probably has a lot of defense, and also shield block is annoying as hell. It's the one thing that's going to kill Black Adam easily is when specials get deflected. You really cannot do much against that. So, yeah, that didn't do a whole lot. Let's cycle with Green Lantern. Maybe we can get a stun. And then we can go into a 3, or right after she uses an ability. So the Flash comes back in. let's try to weaken them. Okay, so there's the power cost increase. So now the specials cost 6, and we can power drain. We have a massive power drain, and he cannot do anything because his moves cost 6, and you just continuously power drain. So you can also do the same with Aquaman, make his power drain cost more, or you can do that move, which is fine. $17 million Elite 1. This is the problem with Arena A. The fact that there isn't enough people playing. Like, I've seen some, like, Arena B, C, D, where 9 million is, like, top 50. I really think that NetherRealm needs to, like, merge some of the older arenas or give people an option to switch into other arenas, but that's just my opinion on that. But as you guys can see, my Black Adam does have some work. Obviously, if my Black Adam can steal power a little bit more reliably, it would be great. But as you saw, I also used the Storm Cloud. Don't underestimate the making abilities cost more, because that's going to protect your Black Adam, and it's also going to make it harder for the opponent to kill you, because basic attacks are not going to work very well. You're going to use the Storm Cloud to protect yourself against Justice League or any other high basic damage attackers. You're going to use the Lightning Cage to try to get your abilities to cost less, and it also works for other characters, like if you're not using Emerald Green Lantern and you want to use a Predator Batman, well, now his stun bombs and his power armor piercing cost 1. This also holds true for any character in the game. So if you're running Dr. Fate with Black Adam, Landing Armor Aquaman's hazard costs 1 if he has the buff, because you can use that buff on anybody. We can even show that off. Let's actually do an 824 heroic match really quick before we wrap this up. And I'm going to show you guys the power of Black Adam, Dr. Fate, and Emerald Green Lantern on the same, or Landing Armor Aquaman on the same team. So this is the epitome of troll. So this is the 824 heroic, where Deadshot can actually rip your face apart even with max defense. So the important thing here is we want to get the buff. There it is. So now Aquaman's hazard costs 1. So you can basically spam it over and over and over again. And you probably want to while he's got that buff. Or you can even spam that. And the fact that you just heal your team. This team could be super annoying. The only thing that would make it better is if you have Arkham Knight Batman for hazard damage, but then your dot is going to cost 2 and not 3. Or not 1. So there's that trade-off. And obviously you have to land the buff in the first place. If you're taking 5 times to land the buff, it doesn't matter. It's not going to be as effective. But the ability 1 costing 1 is super impossible not to spam. Here I think we are going to have to power drain. Well, attempt to. But stupid enough to walk in. We're gonna do another one. And let's get Black Adam and we're going to try to get the buff. Again, if my move was level 70, it'd be quite a bit easier to land the buff. As you're seeing, we're having a little bit of trouble. And that's where the unreliability of Black Adam is. You're not always going to get the buff off. Yes, he's doing pretty good damage to these cronies. And now we can get a super move at 5 bars, so we can just take out Green Lantern before he super moves us, and we only have to deal with Swamp Thing. So the super move costing 5 with Dr. Fate is one of the biggest power moves that you can pull off, especially if you're not dealing with max defense characters. You can definitely use that to rip it to shreds. And Aquaman can come in, power drain away from a super move. And yeah, with that move costing 1 as well, basically 1, 1, and 2, a 7-bar move costing 2 is super good as well in certain situations like Predator Batman. So there is some merit to using other characters, but I think Dr. Fate or Power Girl is pretty much mandatory if you want to make Black Adam really good. So I hope you like this video on showing the YouTube community on how to properly use Black Adam. Please give this video a like rating, comment, subscribe, share this video amongst your friends, and as a favorite, check out my other Injustice 2 videos playlist, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, which are all HollywoodShono, my Instagram, which is HollywoodShono is God, and if you guys have other team recommendations that you would use for Black Adam, I'd like to hear your comments down below, but I really feel that Dr. Fate or Power Girl is mandatory. But you could definitely use Emerald Green Lantern, Atlantean Armor Aquaman to kind of sustain Black Adam. That's pretty viable as well. There's a lot of characters that you could probably use, and there's probably other ones that actually have some use, like Captain Cold for crit resist. You could also have Dark Supergirl to interrupt specials, and Speed Force the Flash to build your combos higher so you can do more special damage. There's just a lot of cool combinations that you could do. You could even run Scarecrow to make the opponent's specials cost even more. There's some pretty cool mechanics, and I'm curious to see how you guys are building Black Adam. But I think the best 2 options, in my opinion, Emerald Green Lantern and Atlantean Armor Aquaman. Leave your comments down below. Let me know if you disagree with my thoughts. I obviously do not have the Batman Ninja characters, as they could possibly work well as Atrocitus if I actually had them. Thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful day, kids.
www.youtube.com/HollywoodShono. Subscribe.